What's up, guys? Crypto Muser here with your daily news and analysis in the crypto markets. Now, I've been away for about a month in Italy on vacation. Finally got back situated in Boston, so I'll be starting to make more videos here. There was kind of a little lull in the crypto news, especially for the Ripple case. So I kind of was okay. But obviously, if you guys have been paying attention, we got a lot of news in the last week or so, and especially in the last couple of days. So I want to get right into it. Just expect more videos coming out at you guys. So definitely give me a follow. Definitely give me a comment. But let's get right into it. First, big news of the day just popped up this morning. The United States is officially in a recession following 2 consecutive quarters of negative GDP growth. Now, if you've been following anything recently, the Democrats and the president were trying to downplay that we weren't in a recession, trying to basically change the definition of a recession. It was kind of funny hearing them trying to back up from their whole recession talks. But we are in a recession. 2 consecutive quarters in negative GDP growth is, technically a recession. I think most people thought it was coming anyway, and we've been in a recession for the last couple of months. But welcome to a recession. This is the first one since 2008 or so. What will the future bring us in these markets? Did we hit a bottom in the stock market, in the crypto market? That'll be the question. A lot of people, 85% of people out there still think we're going lower. When, a big amount or, a higher percentage of people think we're doing something, we usually do the opposite. That's just my, in my years in these markets, that's what I've seen. So who really knows what's happening? We've been in deep fear in this market for months now. So could we go lower? Yes, we could. But what I'm leaning towards, what everybody else is not saying, and I think we hit our bottom, right? I think it was a 17.8, 17.5, basically tapping our all-time high from 2018. I believe that will be our bottom. We could just go sideways for the next couple months or so, and maybe test that low again at 18,000. But I do think we hit our low, and we're going to slowly make our way out of this. I think yesterday, if you guys have been following what the Fed did, we lowered interest or higher interest rates, another 75 basis points, which is 0.75%. I think they said that another 0.5% next month, and then another 0.5%. So basically another percent until the end of the year. And then at that point, I think that they turn the money printers back on, and the QE continues. I think they're basically just going to kick the can down the road like they always do. The best thing, and worst, obviously, would be to, let the markets crash, because obviously the money printing, the inflation, the way everything's going, you basically have to reset the whole system to really get back to normal, which, what is normal these days, right? So I don't think they're going to let the markets crash because, obviously, the big money bankers and institutions don't want to let that happen. And who runs, the SEC, the Fed, and all these agencies? It's the big bankers and institutions. So I think that they've had enough, blood in the streets. They've, basically, bought in their lows, which they usually do. They crash the market, buy the lows, and pump the markets back up. So what I see in the next, like I said, the next couple of months, maybe some sideways action. But by the end of the year, maybe November, December, I think we see a big boom in this market again. And, at some point in 2023, 2024, I still think we see, a major crash, even a depression-style crash in the market. But like I said, they're not going to go from the lows here and just crash the market. They're going to, wait for the euphoria moment to everybody get back in the market and then basically crash the market. That's what I believe. But we'll see. But let's get into the real news in the Ripple SEC case. So James Filan posted this, I think yesterday, the day before. If you guys have been following this case at all, I haven't been putting videos out, but a lot of the XRP community members have been putting out the information. And if you've been following it at all, the SEC basically tried to kick out John Deaton from the case. In the beginning of this case, they tried to basically attack John Deaton's character, saying that he on Twitter he was threatening SEC officials and the SEC chairman, which was BS. So they basically tried to kick him out in the beginning of the case, and the judge said, nope, we're allowing John Deaton, representing I think it's almost 68,000 XRP holders. Now they went back because, I mean, does it surprise you that they want John Deaton and XRP holders out of this case? Look at all the dirt we've dug up in the last year and a half. I mean, they did not know what they were getting themselves into when they started this case. So once again, they try to kick John Deaton out of the case. They try to attack his character, try to attack the characters of XRP holders, saying that we threatened one of the witnesses, and it's like they obviously feel threatened, so they're going to try to kick us out of the case. But lo and behold, in this letter from the judge we got, I'll read it here. Judge Torres denies SEC's motion to revoke Amici status and bar John Deaton from further proceedings. Amici can't participate in expert challenge now, but may file application to brief concerns with SEC's expert at summary judgment. So, John Deaton was trying to basically write a brief on the expert witness that the SEC had about, basically they're trying to say that the SEC's witness knew what XRP holders were thinking when they were buying XRP. Right, and obviously he's going to say that we all thought that we were buying shares of Ripple and that we were relying on Ripple for XRP to go up. John Deaton tried to basically, he wanted to see that filing from the SEC and from the SEC's witness to challenge that witness's statement or that witness's brief. Well, the judge says, no, you can't file your challenge now. But later on in the case, when we go to summary judgment, then you were allowed to basically read the expert witness's testimony, and then you're allowed to write your brief in challenging that testimony. So, he did get turned down on this first briefing, but later on in the case, he's still allowed to challenge the SEC's witness, which is huge because obviously the SEC doesn't want XRP holders, the real XRP holders, say in this. So it's a huge win for XRP, huge win for John Deaton. If you guys got a chance to read John Deaton's reply they were basically trying to kick him out of the case, and then John Deaton had a rebuttal on why he should be involved in this case, and it was unbelievable. I mean, shots fired. I mean, John Deaton called out the SEC for their hypocrisy, even brought up the Hinman emails and the conflicts of interest between Bill Hinman and the Ethereum Alliance. He got a lot packed into a page and a half. It was an amazing read, and I definitely implore you guys to check it out. You can just go back to James Filan, follow James Filan here, and go back a couple days ago, and you can read that full filing. Maybe I'll put it in another video coming up, but it was just amazing to see John Deaton. The guy's been a rock star in this community. I can't say enough about him. Just not only him though, John Deaton, Jeremy Hogan, another guy named Bill. I think he's just Bill on Twitter, but he's also an attorney from Australia. It's just so great to have these attorneys in the XRP community giving us, the rundown on the legal side of things. Because obviously I'm not a lawyer. Most people in the XRP community are not lawyers, so we can't really understand everything going on in this case. But it's been so amazing having these lawyers in the community really giving us the inside scoop and the rundown and all the legal jargon that we can't really understand. It's amazing what I've learned about the legal system in the last year and a half or so. It's definitely, also made me think that the justice system in this country is broken. Hopefully, this case will prove otherwise. But going this far already, you can tell that the SEC is really trying to use the law in their favor. They're trying to basically bend the law, bend the rules in their favor. And thank God we have these two judges that are really, Judge Netburn has kind of been lenient with the SEC and allowing them to do whatever they want, another delay. But it seems like Judge Torres is more strict, and she's not going to take any SEC shit, basically. So moving forward with this case with Judge Torres, I think the SEC is going to have a tough time playing their delay tactics with Judge Torres. So it's going to be an interesting next couple months. I still believe a settlement is coming. When that settlement, it could be any time from now to the end of the year. If it does go the full way, it probably is going to be next year, March or so of 2023. But I just don't see the SEC taking it the full way. I think a settlement comes in as soon as, they're going to obviously delay as much as they can on these Hinman emails. And as soon as they are, forced basically to turn over these emails, because it's been over a year now that they were supposed to be turning over these emails, and they fought, every turn to fight, to appeal, to, fight against turning over these emails. So obviously it's all about these emails. It's like the biggest part of this case are these Hinman emails. So as soon as they are forced to turn those over, and I've said this many times, and a lot of people in the XRP community have said this many times, as soon as they're forced to turn these emails over, a settlement will come in. And you can just see how the SEC is kind of like, I think they see a loss in this case, and they're kind of moving towards exchanges. You see them moving towards Coinbase, and maybe they said they were going after Binance maybe, but that'll be a harder battle than Coinbase because most of Binance's business is out of the country, right? So it's going to be tough for them because that's not their jurisdiction. But that hasn't stopped the SEC before, so who really knows? But I think after this case, they're moving towards Coinbase. And the funny thing about this, and I have something that let's move on to the next thing about Coinbase. Hold on, let me just skip this and go back to this. So John Deaton tweeted this out yesterday, and I thought this was very telling. So Coinbase tried to work with the SEC from day one. It delisted XRP, didn't launch its lending product when it went, if you guys remember, it went into the SEC. And just like Gary Gensler on the SEC, they said, come in and talk to us and we'll figure things out, right? Well, he went, I think Brian Armstrong himself from Coinbase went into the SEC office, explained to them what they were trying to do with their lending product. And they were like, if you roll this product out, we will sue you. So they were like, okay, I guess we're going to listen to you. We're not going to launch our lending product. They basically tried to work with the SEC in everything they did, right? So they didn't launch their lending product. And this is a big reason why it's being hammered is because it cooperated with the SEC. When I read the Ripple complaint, I filed the mandamus suit and said the SEC is coming for all of crypto. It's war. It's a fight to win. And basically what he's saying is like, and even Library, right? Think about Library, went into the SEC, basically tried to be compliant in everything they tried to do. They even offered to sell the company, to liquidate all the Library coins, whatever they had to do to be compliant with the SEC. And the SEC was like, nope, we want to sue you. We basically want to, they want to set a precedent with the Library case so they could go after, bigger fish, right? They want to go after Library, which is a small fish, obviously. They're not even I think it was less than like $20 million market cap. So they wanted to use Library as an example to then go after the rest of crypto. And it's just very dangerous what the SEC is doing here. And I think, like John Deaton saying here, he saw it from the beginning. He warned the whole crypto community, and all of us in the XRP community warned the whole crypto community that the SEC was not just, stopping with Ripple here. They're going after all crypto. And now even this recent Congress SEC hearing, we saw Brad Sherman, this representative from California, talking about, he just basically stated, he believes XRP is a community, XRP is a security, and that the SEC should go after exchanges that sold XRP. I mean, it's really unprecedented to hear a congressman, right, to talk about a case that is going through litigation at the moment and still going through, a year and a half of litigation here. And for a congressman to come out and say that he believes XRP is a security is kind of like ridiculous, right? When I heard him say that, it was like, who's paying you, right? And then we later on found out that he speaks to Gary Gensler on a regular basis, and that he's, some of his biggest donors are from Wall Street and big banks. So it's like, was it surprising? And then you see, other statements from Brad Sherman saying that we should just ban crypto totally, just ban the whole thing. Like that's possible, first off. But second off, if you tried to ban crypto, you would basically, ruin hundreds of thousands of investors. It's like, that would be the dumbest thing you could possibly do. And second off, first off, like I said, you couldn't do it anyway because it's worldwide. Like what the U.S. doesn't understand, and these congressmen like Brad Sherman don't understand, crypto is worldwide. It's global, right? You can try to ban it in the U.S., but that's not going to do anything. And it's decentralized, so there's no banning crypto. Sorry, that's the whole point of crypto. So good luck with that, Brad Sherman. But I believe, and I hope that we vote out more people like him, because he's obviously paid off by Wall Street and big banks, and they don't want to see crypto survive. But guess what? The train's already left the station. There's a great saying that we say in crypto: the train has left the station. There's no stopping it now. So I think it's been pretty funny to see that, they went after Ripple, they went after a library, now they're going after Coinbase. It's an all onslaught against crypto. But the thing about the SEC that they're not going to get is at the end of this year, when the midterms come in, and it looks like the Republicans are going to take over the House and the Senate, goodbye Gary Gensler. And I think he knows that's happening. I think that's why he's trying to do all this at once right now, to maybe make a name for himself or to grab some power for the SEC. But I just don't think it's going to happen the way that the SEC is going about things. They think they're above the law. They think they don't have to, Gary Gensler has turned down meetings with Congress, has turned down meetings with the GOP senators. It's like, dude, you're not above the law. And now, even recently, we saw John Deaton post something about he's worth $100 million, and that basically he won't have a meeting with XRP holders and investors, but he'll have a meeting. I think he said 7 meetings in the last 6 months with his shareholders or with his people that hold his money. So it's like, how corrupt can you be? And the corruption in the SEC is well known for years, but this guy, Gary Gensler, is just one of his own class. And I believe that his day will come. And John Deaton has actually said this on many occasions, that he will resign before he's even taken out of the SEC by the Republicans when they take over in the midterms. But it's pretty unbelievable. So the next thing I want to talk about is, Stuart Alderati, he's the lead counsel or general counsel at Ripple. He had hold on a sec. He had, this is his article that he wrote. Let me just make sure. Yeah, so he wrote an article on realclearmarkets.com, and he tweeted this out. Rather than providing regulatory clarity through rulemaking, the SEC is bullying crypto markets by filing unproven allegations masquerading as regulation. In my latest op-ed, I outline the urgent need for sensible crypto legislation from Washington. When you see stuff like this from the general counsel of Ripple, it just... And then you saw the CFTC commissioner come out against what the SEC is doing. It's like the SEC is the only people within the SEC, and the chairman, obviously Gary Gensler, are the only ones believe that they're doing is right. The CFTC is against them. Most of Congress is against them. There's outliers like Brad Sherman and a couple other Democrats, but most people are against what the SEC is doing. Obviously, investors in crypto are against the SEC. Most of the world, other agencies around the world are against what the SEC in the United States is doing. So it's pretty amazing that Gary Gensler really thinks he can get away with this. And then we saw this, which was unbelievable. Eleanor Tourette, by the way, at Fox Business has been unbelievable throughout this whole case. Fox Business has been the only major media outlet covering this case. I think we can all understand why. You don't hear anything on CNBC, you hear nothing on CNN, you hear nothing on any of the other major outlets, because obviously, I hear a lot of Jim Cramer out there talking, basically, rubbing up to the SEC and Gary Gensler. So they're obviously paid by the same people, right? But Fox Business, it seems like they are, the only ones fighting for real people. And she's been on top of this case. And she put this out, and this was pretty amazing. From the latest SEC filing, this is what the SEC said. The speech, the famous Hinman speech, the speech was not binding SEC policy. That is, a pronouncement of the commission itself. The commissioners appointed by the president with the Senate's advice and consent. Now, this is the head So basically, he's saying that that speech had nothing to do with SEC policy, right? And that's what the whole thing, argument has been, that first it was Bill Himmon's own personal opinion, and then they came back and said it's actually the position of Bill Himmon as the head of corporate finance within the SEC, but not actually policy guidance for the SEC. Which if that made no sense to you, it makes no sense. But let's just quickly hear and this is just a quick snippet of Chair Clayton when he was at the chairman at the SEC.
Bill Hinman recently outlined the approach we take to evaluate whether a digital asset is a security, and I encourage you to take a look at Bill's speech, which is available on our website.
I mean, you really got to love it. I mean, they love to just go back and forth with this argument, and this is the biggest thing. They just wrote a 25-page response to Judge Netburn's once again denying the SEC on the attorney-client privilege basis that the Hinman email should be protected. So once again, I love that Eleanor Trett put this out there, because this is one of the biggest things that was going around the XRP community a couple months ago, was they kept trying to say that this speech had nothing to do with the SEC guidance, had nothing to do with the SEC at all. And then, then we have this, this is Jay Clayton, while he was the chair of the SEC, saying that this is how we at the SEC obviously look at how we come up with calling a digital asset a security. And he actually tells them to go to the SEC's website to check out the speech. So obviously they were putting it out there as market guidance. So it's pretty amazing for them to even try to argue the opposite. And just like I was talking about Jim Cramer, I mean, this guy, man, obviously this guy's a paid shill. I mean, this is him. This is inverse Cramer. I love this. So basically, this is people that trade on the opposite of what Jim Cramer says, and I'm sure they've been doing pretty well. But this is Jim Cramer's tweet. This is April 14th, 2021. We love Coinbase at $4.75. That was the top. Can you believe that? We like Coinbase at $4.75. Really? So they're trying to tell people to buy the top of the Coinbase stock. And then this is, a couple days ago, I've been waiting for the SEC investigation of Coinbase to happen for ages. Now here we go. You can't just do what you want with securities in this country. I mean, what a... you can't just help but just laugh at these people, especially Jim Cramer. What a joke this guy is. Do people really listen to this guy anymore? I hope not. And like I said, this Twitter handle is a handle that basically goes with everything, just trades on everything that Jim Cramer says in the opposite, which, you honestly can't go wrong in that instance, I believe. But just wanted to point that out, because you got to love these the shills out there. I mean, he has Gary Gensler on his show, basically saying that everything's a security. And then a couple weeks later, he's saying everybody should buy Ethereum. That was right before, I think that was at like 2,600 or something like that. And then what happened? It just all bottomed out. So it's like I said, everything he says, probably do the opposite. The last thing I want to just, before I end the video, is, so Crypto Eddy had this great tweet, and I believe this is, XRP community members have really been saying this for years now, since this Ripple case started, but I think that most of crypto is finally starting to jump on board with us. And I'll just read this tweet and then we'll just end the video here. But it's getting pretty serious for crypto. Not trying to be cute here, but the space is very fortunate to have the XRP community. We are more war ready with nearly 20 months of experience. Quite a powerful decentralized fighting machine already assembled. Now, like I said in the beginning of this video, John Deaton called this out. When the first lawsuit came out against Ripple, a lot of people in the crypto community were saying, "Oh, they deserve it. Good for the SEC." Boy, were they wrong. We were saying this from the beginning. It wasn't going to start it wasn't just going to end with Ripple. They were coming after everybody. And look at them now. I mean, basically, they want to shut down crypto in the U.S. And we like Crypto Eddy's saying here, we've been battling them from the beginning. So we welcome the rest of the crypto community with us to fight the SEC and their power-hungry cronies like Gary Gensler and the rest of the commissioners. Even Hester Peirce, honestly, crypto mom, in quotations, I'll say it, I think she's a faker too. They're all just paid shills. So it's all a bunch of corrupt. Obviously, the SEC is the most corrupt agency within the most corrupt government. So, I mean, where's this all going to go? I guess we'll find out. But, at least we have, a decentralized fighting machine, which I love that the way that Crypto Eddy stated that. But it's time to assemble the rest of the community in crypto and fight this, these bastards at the SEC. But I'll end the video there, guys. Welcome. I just want to say it's good to be back on YouTube here, and I'll be putting out videos every couple of days when I get more news. But we're back, so just want to say it's glad to be back. So remember, this is not financial advice. Please do not take anything I write or say as financial advice. This is for entertainment purposes only. And thanks, guys, and we'll see you on the next one.